Welcome to Growing Your Team, a podcast designed for small business owners seeking to grow their company with the help of employees and contractors. Your time is limited, which means growing and leveraging teams is essential for business success. The Growing Your Team podcast is the place to learn tips and techniques designed to help you know when it's the right time to hire, how to select perfect fit team members, and how to maximize productivity while creating a positive work environment. Drawing from her 10-plus years of leadership and hiring experience, here is your host, Jamie Van Kuyk.
Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. Today, let's talk about interns. We're pretty far into the summer, which means colleges are going to be starting up in about a month. And you might be thinking that this is the perfect opportunity for you to add interns to your team. Before you do, I just want to make sure you understand one thing very clearly. Interns are not a way to get free or cheap labor. A lot of people think, ooh, I don't have to pay interns. Or I can pay interns and get work done and it'll be a very, very reasonable wage. And there are some cases where both those things are true. There are certain circumstances when you follow certain rules and certain things apply with the school and everything that an internship can be unpaid. But normally, if an intern is producing anything of value for your company, so what they're producing is actually going out into market or actually touching your clients or anything like that, it's a paid position besides some circumstances that are typically approved and go through school programs and everything. So they're typically required to be paid by law. You cannot be getting free labor and just call it an internship. And then even when they are low wage positions, because you say, well, I can pay an intern minimum wage because they're in college. Most of them are getting it for the experience and not the money. That could be true, but sometimes interns can't take internships because they're so low paid, because they need to pay for rent. They need to pay for food. They need to pay for their gas to get to and from school. They need to pay for books. They're trying to save up money so they can pay off their student loans. So you might not always get a good pool of candidates if you do cheap labor. And while you can pay them whatever you want, you have to understand that internships are learning positions. They are positions where someone is not an expert yet, and they're looking to gain knowledge. So, what does this mean? It typically means that your interns, in order to produce good quality work, need a lot of hand-holding. So you have to remember with internships, they are learning positions for the students and not necessarily jobs. And learning positions means you have to have the ability to teach. Now, this can look so many different ways. Some interns you're going to have to give a lot more time and attention to. Other ones, not so much. You can put them on their own on projects and come back and evaluate their work and give them feedback. Interns will take all different amounts of your time, but they will take more of your time than an employee would. And there's most likely multiple things throughout their time together that is going to need a lot of constructive feedback because they're learning. They want to learn from you. They want to gain experience. So also you need to make sure that your internship is giving them experience. What are they going to walk away with that is more than what they came in with, besides just potentially earning a paycheck? How does that internship make them more employable? So if you're thinking about an internship this fall for your company, those are some of the things you have to think about. One, do you have time to teach? And teach more than just during the onboarding phase, but teach throughout the entire tenure that they're there. And the tenure is typically short. Most internships are a semester. And two, what is someone going to learn? What is the value of doing that internship? Just being in your office and helping you file papers is probably not a good learning experience, but something that can give them hands-on experience and grow their skill sets and apply what they're learning in school can be a good experience. Now with your interns, it is perfectly okay to sit there and say, all right, we're going to have you work on these projects and we want you to research these things and do things that require a lot of their independent work, but you still need time to sit with them. You still need time to provide them feedback. They're not going to be able to do everything on their own and they're not going to know everything. So I always tell people when they're thinking about hiring an intern, I say, why are you hiring? And if they tell me it's because they don't have enough time in their business and they need more hands, I say an intern is not who you need. If you are already short on time, you are not going to gain time by hiring an intern. It is going to cost you time. The people with really successful internships are those who want to give it back, are those who want to teach and make it so make it so students are more employable when they graduate. They are programs that are well thought out. So even though they might not know from the beginning exactly what they're going to have the intern working on because it depends on what's going on with clients, they know that these are the types of things the intern's going to learn. These are the type of things we're going to bring them in. And when these opportunities come up, that's what we're going to focus on. So if you do not have the time to give back, if you do not want to spend a lot of time teaching, hiring an intern is not for you. But if you do have the time, do it. Hire interns. Help students learn the skills that they need so they can become employable. Because we need good workers. And we can't have good workers if people aren't willing to help people learn what it means to be good workers. And that's another thing I want to bring up before we wrap up today, is that you have to remember that interns are typically young college students, and young college students tend to lack a lot of professional maturity. And if that's not something you want to deal with, then once again, probably having internships is not for you. Part of the teaching opportunity for an intern can be helping them increase their professional maturity. So they're someone who knows how an office operates, who knows how a company operates, what's expected of team members, and everything there. So once again, I just want to repeat this just because I find it so important. Interns are not a way to get good, cheap, or free labor. Internships cost you time and typically in money. So if you're looking to hire a team member because you're short on time, internships are not the way to go. If you're looking for an opportunity to give back, looking for an opportunity to help the next generation of workers, do it. Students need the opportunities, and we need companies that are willing to give time and effort to students. But don't take advantage of interns. To give you a personal story of mine, my second internship I had at college was for a small business where I think there was one paid intern out of all of us just because she came from another school, and it was required by her school that they had to be paid at internships. And she was doing a lot of work. She deserved to be paid. But the rest of us were pretty much running the business for this person, doing all this work, producing all this value for her, and not one of us got paid. And I actually got yelled at multiple times for stupid things, like silly things. Like I was supposed to be editing this 40-page document, and I decided that while it was printing out and I was waiting for it to print out and I didn't have anything else to do during that time, that I was going to take a break and eat my lunch that I typically ate at my desk every day when I was working. And I got yelled at for not, as each individual page came off the printer to start editing and reading it. And how dare I eat my lunch on her time and take a break? So needless to say, I didn't have enough, guts at that time to say something. I knew someone who was in the next batch of interns that came in after I left. She said something to the school we went to. because it was actually one of the advisors at the school that got me connected to the internship along with a lot of other people. And that company quickly went out of business because it realized that they were taking advantage of all these people. And once they were required to pay all their internships, they didn't have enough money. So internships are not a way to get cheaper free labor. Treat your interns well if you're going to have them. If you don't want to give back your time and effort and money helping someone learn, don't get an intern. Hire someone with experience. But once again, internships, if you're willing to give the time and effort to teach someone, are an amazing way to give back and build that next generation of workers.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Growing Your Team with your host, Jamie Van Kuyk. Be sure to subscribe and head on over to growingyourteam.com to connect, access the show notes, and discover more ways to hire and leverage your perfect fit team.